Arr! Are you ready for your final pirate challenge of the week?
You like this one, don't you?
This is one of my favourites.
Yeah.
It's the floating and sinking.
Yeah. Now, they might have seen us already down at the beach, mightn't they?
Oh, I don't know if they have. Let's show them now.
If you look out to sea, I see seagulls! Seagulls floating!
Can you see the seagulls floating on the water?
That is so cool! Let's see if it floats or sinks, pirates.
Let's see, we got some of it.
So, if it floats, it's going to sit on the water.
Yeah.
Stay on top. And if it sinks, it's going to go down, down, down.
Ready?
Right, okay, Pirate Pretty Petty, are you going first? I'll go first with me cannon! Your cannon! Ah! Ready! Oh, is it floating or sinking? I think it's sunk. It's sunk. We can't see it. It's gone to the bottom. Arr! Let's try the fish
The
skin.
fishy.
Arr! Oh, whoop, whoop, up.
That's sunk as well.
Oh! Try that seaweed over there. Try it out, Captain Greybeard. Oh! It did, and then the waves crashed it under. What have you got, Pirate Pretty Petty?
I've got a thinner stick. Ready?
Yep. Arr!
Yes!
It's floating! Yes, it's floating!
Did you see it?
Did you see it? Did you see it? Did you see us at the beach? We were experimenting with floating
Yeah, we
and
were.
sinking in the sea.
I think my object actually was the one that floated.
I think it was. I
Yeah.
don't think we could, really find much that floated, but it was hard to tell because the waves were crashing.
Yeah.
So it's hard to tell. So you could do a floating and sinking at the beach, or you could do it in a bowl of water.
An experiment.
An experiment.
Love an
Scientific experiment.
Yeah.
So we've got some of the objects we found, some of our treasure
Yeah.
are at the beach, and a few things from around the classroom.
Mhm.
We've got a bowl of water.
Yeah. And you might want to do it in a bowl, or you might want to do it in the bath,
Oh, absolutely. Or the sink,
or the sink.
or your paddling pool. Bit
Yeah.
cold for paddling pool though.
Yeah, a bit chilly.
No.
Don't do that one.
And then we're going to ask you to do an
Mhm.
experiment and finding out what kinds of things float and what kind of things sink. And we want you to record it on the sheet that you've got in your pack.
Yep.
So we've got a big circle with a tick for if it floats. And if it doesn't float, if it sinks, we've got a cross because it sinks and it goes to the bottom.
I wonder if the boys and girls could write those words, because I didn't write those words on. I've just given them a tick and a cross.
Oh.
So actually,
So you could write
they could,
float
couldn't they?
and sink.
Yeah.
Float, float.
Oh, there it is again. Oh, goat in a coat.
Float. Float and sink. Sink. Sink.
Sins.
Okay, so we've got one circle which is for all of our things that float, one circle for all of our things that sink, and then you can draw them inside and you can write down what they are.
Yeah.
Great, and you can test as many things as you want. So to test, you're going to need a bowl or a washing up bowl or any kind of bowl with some water.
And
Now, what?
can I add some blue to it to make it like the sea,
Well,
like the ocean?
You don't have to, but if you want to, you could add
Let's
some colour.
do it.
So why not? Let's do it.
There we go.
Ooh,
Oh, look at
look at
that! It's not blue, it's
We should
green.
Give it a little stir. I'm looking for one of our bits of treasure. We found a
there we go.
stick.
A stirry stick.
A stirry stick. So let's give it a stir. Ah! My stick broke.
Oh yes, look at that.
Right, it's made it a slightly different colour, hasn't it? Just slightly. Now, what do you think? Stick, float or sink?
I know.
What do you
because
predict?
It was my object at the beach that it floats.
Are you sure?
Yes.
So we're going to test it.
Yep.
And then we're going to write down
Okay.
which circle.
Ready?
What do you think at home? Do you agree with Pirate Petty? Pirate Pretty Petty?
Please,
Yeah?
please.
Mm.
Yes!
Oh.
Can you see it floating?
Can you see it floating on the top of the water? I wonder what would happen if I pushed it down.
I don't think it's going to stay. It's too light. Boing.
Boing, back up again. Interesting.
Okay, so shall I write that down?
Oh yeah, because my hand's now a bit wet.
So it's a stick. Here's the stick, and it had little forks on the end.
Yeah.
Oh goodness me! I'm gonna have to do some lopsided writing.
It's a digraph.
It is, and we already know that word from Stanley Stick book.
Stanley stick book.
Stanley Stick.
Let's take the stick out.
'Kay.
Oh, my turn to choose.
Yeah, go for it.
Or did I choose that one?
It doesn't matter. Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. I'm going to choose. Now, I actually don't know what the answer is to this one, but we found shells, didn't we?
Yeah.
Now, they're all different shells. I don't know if some shells sink and some shells float, but I kind of think. I think it's going to float.
Do you? I don't know, because I'm wondering whether the water might go in the hole and fill it up and pull it down to the bottom.
I wonder if it will float at the beginning and then sink, or
Okay.
whether it will just.
Let's
sink straight
try
away.
it. Let's see.
Well, because you said that about it filling up with water, I'm going to try and put
Oh,
it this
okay.
way and see if it starts off with a float. What do you predict at home?
That's a great word. Predict.
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 Predict is a really good guess.
it
It's
is.
predict what you think is going to happen. Floating.
Oh man.
Floating.
Hold on a second. It might fill up with water, especially if I do this.
Oh, pirate. Pretty petty. Now it's sunk to the bottom.
So where's it going to go? Because it does float.
It can float.
There we go. And if I pop it back up again, there you go. So it can float, but it also can sink.
Oh! Did you see that?
That was so
That was
cool.
really cool. That was really because it's wet now. And
Yes.
It just filled up. It started
It
to
just
tip,
flipped.
and as soon as it tipped, it filled up with water. So let's do it one more time. So I'm gonna get it all out. Gonna see. So it's floating.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's wet, and that's making it heavier, maybe.
Yeah.
So my shell sunk. That's decided it. It's a sinking shell. So I'm gonna draw. Oh, now I've got to draw a shell. Well, that's actually really not very easy, boys and girls, to draw, is
That's
it?
really not. I'm glad you got that one and not me.
Oh, I'm gonna kind of do a curly whirly. I know what it is. It's a shell. And actually, that's okay because the important thing is you know what it is. So, my shell that looks like a Swiss roll definitely did a sink. Your stick did a float.
Okay,
Are you going to
so
choose one? This is too much fun. We're going to choose one more each.
one more each. What about the stone?
Oh,
It's a really smooth stone,
it's
actually.
really smooth.
but
Does that make
feel-
a difference?
Does it? I predict, because I like that word, I predict that because it's quite heavy, I think it will sink.
Give it a try.
Ready? Oh gosh.
Oh, yes.
Did you hear that
Definitely.
one?
That was loud.
Yeah. So it definitely sunk. There we go. I'll draw. Oh, thank goodness my stone's easier to draw. There's
Now-
my stone.
I'm going to try one that puzzles me slightly. Am I? Don't know whether to try. I've got a cork here from when Mr. Cook had a special drink the other day. So I wonder if that's going to float or sink. It's very light,
It is very light.
but when the shell got wet, it filled up water. It was sinking.
And also the material, is it porous?
It is porous. That's what I'm thinking. It
Yeah,
would soak in
it
the
would
water
soak-
a bit, wouldn't it?
soaks up all
But not as
the
much
water,
as a
doesn't
sponge.
It? Yeah.
So let's try this one from Mr. Cook's special drink and see what happens, shall we?
In it goes.
In it goes. Ah,
Oh, it does float. Hello,
Floating.
Daisy Dog.
hello, Daisy Dog. This is not your drink.
This
is
not
our
your
experiment.
drink.
How about if I push it down?
No, still not staying down, is
a
it?
bit like the stick. Oh, look at that. We've got two things that will float
And two things that
and
sink.
two things
Now-
that sink.
Here's a question.
Mm.
Just because something is big, does it mean because it's bigger it's heavier that it will sink? Or could we have something that's big but light?
I don't know. Why don't we ask the boys and girls
I know.
to
I'm
experiment?
wondering if the boys and girls at home could find that out for us. That'd be really interesting.
What's the biggest thing that you can find that will float?
Yeah,
Hey, that sounds like a pirate challenge,
doesn't it?
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Can't wait to see the results of your experiment. You need to know this information for a special pirate challenge that is coming
Yeah.
on Monday.
Dun, dun, dun.
But we're not going to tell you what
No,
that is.
don't tell them. No.
Surprise, surprise. So we will see you again soon. Bye for now.
Arr.
Arr.